It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David as he talks with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Arms up, Berta.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it's great to have you in studio today. Yavapai County Supervisor Tom Thurman is in studio today. Originally, I just wanted you to come in and talk trails because I've tried the last couple of times you've been here. Welcome to studio, by the way.
Thank you. Happy always to be here.
But there's always something that seems to come up before we can get to trails, and we're going to try to talk to trails today. We are going to try to talk trails today.
Okay, good.
The Sun Corridor trails.
These are hiking trails, not only Sun Corridor, but another interesting hopeful we'll do a circle trail here in the Verde Valley.
Okay, so we'll try to get to that today. But we've got to address the proposed 18% property tax increase. That's quite a hubbub.
Terrible.
And I told you just before the show that David McAtee, county spokesman, yesterday stopped on the side of the road, gave me a call, and gave me a couple of sound bites, and I put those on the air along with some graphics as well, so people can maybe understand better just what the 18% is. But I want you to go ahead and explain what this 18% increase is.
Okay, if you look, a lot of people don't look at their tax bill. A lot of them don't even get it because they have a mortgage and it goes to their lending institution. But if you can get on the county website at the assessor's office and you can see where all the money is going if you don't have that in front of you. And you will find out real quick that about 17% of your property tax bill comes to Yavapai County and our general fund. The rest of it is going to the education systems, and we're talking the colleges, the K through 12. Where a lot of it goes to the fire districts, and then there's improvement districts. Some areas have actually went out and talked to the neighbors, and they created an improvement district. It could be a water improvement district, sewer. It could be a lighting district. There's a lot of different districts out there, and so if you look at your bill, approximately about 17% of your bill comes to us at Yavapai County. That's all.
17% of the entire property tax bill.
So let's just say, for giggles, $1,000 is your tax bill, right? Well then, so 17 or $170 of that goes to Yavapai County. Now, it's going up 18%, and you're going, my God, that means it's going to go up, $180 on a $1,000 bill, or $360 on a $2,000 bill. No. State law makes us explain to folks when we come out and we do information to the public, we're mandated to tell exactly how much we're going to go up. And that language says we have to say how much we're going up. That's how much we're going up at that 17% level. So if you look at it that way, it's 17% times 18%. So in reality, on the average, it's about $30 per $100,000 home. So if you average home, most homes today are $200,000 to $300,000. So it could be $60 to $90. If you have a payment, mortgage payment, it's going to go up about $8, $6 to $8 a month. It isn't that much. We've seen in the past many more higher hikes by all these other people that we collect money for on your property taxes. Since I was elected, basically we have not raised property taxes. The amount you pay per 100,000, the limited property value, we have not raised that in 14 and a half years that I've been a county supervisor. A couple pennies here and there during the recession, but hardly anything. This is the first real time that we are actually going up. We are on the bottom third in the state of Arizona on the percentage of property tax you pay us. Again, that's the portion going to Yavapai County. All these other things we don't have control over. I've had people call me and say, you got to tell Yavapai College they can't go up again. I don't have any authority to that. We're all subdivisions of the state of Arizona. And so they have that authority. All we do is collect the money. We're just a conduit. We can't stop the money legally. We'd be thrown in jail.
I told you before the show that one thing when Chip Davis was supervisor as well, that it has always been, it seems like when the county comes to talking about property taxes and the budget, every year it's always been, we didn't raise property taxes. And I've been doing this for 25 years here now. So this is the first time I'm seeing this. Really. Right. You mentioned a couple of pennies during the recession. I believe that was true, but other than that, I've never seen a huge increase.
Our assessed values have since the recession have started to come back up. So we're seeing we have to pay a little more money there. It's about the same percentage that we're paying more there, and new construction that we collect on is about what the cost of living for doing our business at the county is. I mean, our county is growing leaps and bounds. Everything costs more money today. Health insurance, fuel, you just name it. Everything goes up a little bit. This property tax raise is not for that. We handle that every year without raising property taxes, as we have done in the past. This is for two reasons. One is, as this weekend, in our jail, we had 2 and 3 people, detainees, sleeping on the floor. We are so overcrowded in our jail. Now, a lot of people go, well, if you didn't arrest the pot smokers, it wouldn't be that way. We don't arrest pot smokers. We could throw them with every one with a felony if we go by federal law. We don't do that. If they're selling pot, yeah. The misdemeanors is only 5 to 8% of the people in our jails misdemeanors. The rest are felonies. These people need to be there. And so we have diversion programs, which you've had on your program before, where we're helping these folks that have mental problems, which could be induced by the drug situation that they're hooked on. So we've cut the amount of people that we've actually put in our jail in the last 5 years by almost half, which the whole state of Arizona is actually coming to us and saying, how do you stop this recidivism rate? How are you doing this? And it's the mental side. So we've got to have another jail. And part of this new jail is going to be the mental health side. So it's a criminal justice center. It's not really a jail. That's going to cost a lot of money. We have no idea. We thought it was 40 million, 50. Now first responses coming out are maybe 60 or 70 million. So we need to get an architectural firm with a needs assessment, draw this thing up with this mental health side of this, and say, okay, now we can figure out what it's going to cost. That's going to cost a couple $1 million. Our building on Gurley Street in Prescott, where the main parts of the county attorney are and the public defender and the sheriffs and all that, there's no parking. Prescott has become very popular, like Sedona. And so you just can't hardly find a place to park. We're building a little parking deck on our where the old jail used to be on Gurley Street. That's another couple million. So those are reasons why we need $4 million. Why do we need $8.5 million? Well, the other is the public safety retirement system. It's a debacle. Folks have to understand that law enforcement, fire departments, correctional officers, all these folks have retirements. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, their retirement system was horrible. You would get shot at for 20, 30 years, and you didn't get squat when you retired. So that's changed. But when that system came in line, everybody and his brother was working. Now it's almost 50-50. 50% of the working are paying for the other 50% that have retired. So we pay in, those folks pay in, and the county pays in a lot of money into the retirement system. We don't have any control over it. It goes to the state of Arizona. And there is a group there that on the public safety retirement system and the corp that manage that money. That money, in my opinion, has been managed very poorly. I have had meetings with a couple of our legislators here in LD6, and I sat down with them and I said, just Yavapai County has a $50 million hit by these people. They anticipate making 7 or 8, 9% on the funds they have in there, and they're lucky to make 3%. They're not investing it, in my opinion, very wisely. And so we've got to start paying this down, like it or not. And these legislators told me, he says, we're not doing anything in the state about it. We're just, every year they sweep it underneath the rug. They don't even want to talk about it. They want to talk about schools, they want to talk about roads and all these things that are important, don't get me wrong. But this debt is huge. Some communities, Prescott was up to like $90 million into this in this little tiny town. And they passed a sales tax to try to pay this down. So $4 million of this is going to the public safety retirement system to help pay that $50 million, almost $50 million down that we owe, and $500,000 more to the correctional officer retirement system. And so even though it's a heck of a hike, we have to do it. We're not the federal government where we pay a credit card debt with another credit card. We can't do that. We're obligated for a budget that doesn't have much debt. And this county is one of the 15 counties in the state has one of the lowest debt ratios. We only have 2% of our yearly funding mechanisms and fiscal responsibilities. We only have 2% of that is our debt. It's very, very low.
We're going to take a break. We have to take a break.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yavapai County Supervisor Tom Thurman in studio today. This is Countywide. A couple of websites for you. Yavapai.us, information about that 18% proposed increase. And then VerdeConnect.com. We'll come back and talk about that too just after a couple of minutes.
Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging uses a state-of-the-art medical digital camera to take a picture and create a map of the body's infrared patterns, later interpreted by an MD specially trained in reading thermography. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging is the leading medical imaging and proactive healthcare, detecting early danger signs years before other tools, finding early breast disease up to 8 years before mammography may detect it. Schedule a scan with Carol today. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging. Say yes to thermography.
Northern Arizona Mortgage Corporation is your local choice for personalized home loans, and they've been doing it since 1986. They help home buyers obtain FHA, VA, USDA guaranteed rural housing, and conventional loans. From start to finish, they offer a safe in-person application process with licensed loan originators. Contact Shelley White Collier at northernarizonaMortgage.com or call 634-4251. Visit their office, located at 707 East Mingus, Suite 601, Cottonwood.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Welcome back to Countywide. Yavapai County Supervisor Tom Thurman in studio today. We talked about the 18% proposed increase on the property tax. Now let's move to Verde Connect.
Which is only really 3.
Which is only really 3.
Okay.
Yeah, which is only really 3.
Okay.
2 routes have been chosen for the Verde Connect project.
Yes.
So what are we looking at here?
Okay, B2. The first route is what I have really wanted to tell everybody for the last almost year. This is the only route that I would go for. There's a lot of people scared out there, and I would be too, that this route, one of the routes shows it coming right through all the homes on Middle Verde Road, and there's going to be a freeway through there, and the truckers and the Harleys and everything they moved out there for is going to be thrown out the window. I have told everybody till I'm blue in the face I would never okay that. The Route B2 comes out at where Corey is, where the auto dealership, and it's
on 260.
On 260, it actually comes off of Beaverhead Flat Road coming out of the Village Oak Creek, and goes behind those mesas and drops in those canyons. It's a great spot to cross the Verde River. It's a little more narrow there, so the bridge can be a little shorter. They're not even going to hear that road. They're not going to see the road. Nobody's going to see it in Middle Verde. Now, we do need to help Middle Verde because of their emergency response time to get to Cottonwood, and for the fire department and everybody else is horrible. So we want to save that 20 minutes, and part of this is that 20 minutes, and that's why this road also was to help them. So we need a small, little ancillary little road that comes off. It's just going to be a little 2-lane, little neighborhood type of road that goes over, and it goes up on the hill and connects to the Beaverhead Flat extension and the Verde Connect. This way, that there's no reason for people to come through there unless they live there. And so hopefully, I hope folks will understand that. We received this $25 million grant. It was the only grant that was received in the state of Arizona by Federal Highways. It's called a build grant. And if we don't take it here in northern Arizona after I had approvals from all the municipalities and the tribe and the county board of supervisors, if we don't take it, this is a real black eye for us. The chance of us getting more funding in the future has just dwindled. It doesn't mean we couldn't, and they're saying officially we could, but on the flip side, I'm going to tell you right now, people I've talked to, it puts you at the bottom of the totem.
Is it one of those things where, okay, we got the grant money and we got it funded, you had all the support at the beginning, but now I know some folks, entities have pulled out of this and said no, but that would look pretty bad where you come in and say, look, everyone's all for this, they signed off on it and said, yes, we want this road, you get the grant, and now you don't use the grant, you come back, well, sorry,
we don't need it.
We don't need, yeah, they decided not to.
So they give it to another state, and this state loses $25 million.
Okay.
You know, I understand. If I had a road that I thought was going to go behind my house or something, I would be complaining too. I wouldn't want that. But they got to understand is this thing is the future of the Verde. It doesn't show a lot of cars right now that's going to use it, but the village of Oak Creek has no really way to get back to Cottonwood without going on awful routes. And downtown, if you will, the area in Cornville has become a bottleneck of traffic. It's not going to get any better. So we're showing all these roads failing. This will actually be a relief valve for the other 90,000 people that live in the Verde Valley to get in and out in certain locations. I think it's something that we really need to do for safety. We start seeing in 10 or 20 years all these roads are failing to the point to where, as we see around Sedona now, we don't want to create another Sedona situation in Cornville. We've got to do it. Now, the other alternative would be do nothing. And then we lose the $25 million and then possibly future money. And so that's not an option for me. I'm here as an elected official to do what I think is the right thing for safety as much as I can and be a bean counter. That's where I came up I got board approval for $660,000 so they could complete the Highway 260 project between Camp Verde and Cottonwood. I've put in pedestrian bridges at $500,000 plus. I've worked flood control with Camp Verde. I've worked it with Cottonwood. We took our authority that we had and Cottonwood did too and gave Camp Verde the opportunity zone, which is a new zone that folks that want to start a business get all kinds of tax write-offs. This new road will come out right on the edge of that. So economic development on 260 and this road will be fabulous. I don't see a downside. And if we keep this road coming out of the middle of Verde area down to just a 2-lane little circuitous looking thing, I just don't see any problem there.
All right, we'll keep following it too.
Yes.
We got to take another break. We're not going to have much time for trails now.
Well, we'll get them in.
We'll get them in. Yavapai County Supervisor Tom Thurman in studio. 2 websites for you, yavapai.us, verdeconnect.com. Stick around, Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Hi, Todd of Todd's Appliances, your hometown appliance store. Studies have shown that when you buy from an independently, locally owned business rather than a box store, a lot more of your money stays local, therefore strengthening our community. From basic to high-end, we carry name-brand appliances. Visit our store on Main Street in Camp Verde. With same-day, next-day service, we service what we sell what we service the least. ToddsAppliances.com, 567-3062.
Hi, I'm your host, Smokey Cole Bear, filling in for Smokey because after 75 years of...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Turns out there's much more to say. Nearly 90% of wildfires are caused by us humans being careless, dumping our used barbecue coals willy-nilly. Guess the song was wrong. We did start the fire. That's why I respect Mother Nature and her trees, whether coniferous or new car scented. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to Countywide. Just a few minutes left in the program. Our main goal was to talk trails. So let's take it.
Let's talk trails.
You got 3 minutes.
Let's get the kids to shut off the cell phones and let's get the TVs, the pads and let's shut all this. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Let's enjoy it. Maricopa County Parks a couple years ago started what they're calling a Sun Corridor Trail. And it was specifically really for the Tucson, Maricopa County area, and it grew. And so now this thing is starting in Douglas, Arizona, going up through Bisbee into Tucson and their Circle Trail. Tucson north on the old CAP Canal goes to the Maricopa County Circle Trail, which is over 300 miles. It was just completed. Comes up through Yavapai County, goes up to, in the Bradshaws, to the Prescott Circle Trail, which is well used. Connects to the Peavine, which is the old rails to trails system over there, what people love. Then it goes north on that rails to trails to Chino Valley, over on the 318 over to Jerome on that narrow gauge railroad bed, and drops down into Clarkdale and Cottonwood, over to Dead Horse on the Lime Kiln Trail to Sedona, up to Flagstaff, the old 66 routes and Beals Trail all the way to Kingman, and it crosses at Bullhead there at the river, gets over and heads north towards Searchlight and goes to Las Vegas. This thing goes from Mexico and Douglas, Arizona to Las Vegas, all close to municipalities. We know the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Coast Trail, the Arizona Trail, these are wilderness type of trails that are single tracks. This is another single track trail. This is for hikers, mountain bikers, and equestrian only. And so, but this connectivity to all the municipalities, we also want to do a circle trail in the Verde Valley too. In fact, I have a trails meeting today. Supervisor Garrison thought that would be a good idea also. And there's so many trails already in the Verde that are so close that I think we can do this in a fairly quick time by just doing little legs here and there with that connectivity, and we'll have our own circle trail here in the Verde.
You're a hiker, huh?
Yeah.
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 You can tell. You know all these trails. All the names, by name, all the way
Some
through
of them by numbers, yeah.
Right, yeah. That's
yeah, I work, in fact, I'm part of course with the Verde
When does
Front.
this happen?
Well, I started as a bystander a couple years ago. They threw me in as the co-chair last year, and of course this year with the foot and mouth disease I have, they made me the chair for the state of Arizona. So I'm part of that Sun Corridor Trail. This is eco dollars. This is green dollars coming into areas that doesn't cause pollution. We aren't construction dependent, that, you know, on these recessions in the construction industry that everything dies. We can start getting people that are mountain bikers. Most of those folks, either younger, and after they do their little trek, they love to go have a beer. They will spend money in your community. A lot of the older ones are attorneys and doctors and things. They're well heeled. The hiking community, so you'll get segments, and we'll have a little insignia. We're working on logos. I think this is something that's great.
When do we hope to have it done?
5 years.
5 years.
They told me 20, and I want to do it in 5.
5, okay.
Yes.
Well, you usually get these things done pretty fast.
We try real hard.
We covered a lot. So wait, real quick, is there a way that people can find out more information about that? We got like 45 seconds left.
SCT is the Sun Corridor Trail. Yes, you can get on the web.
SAT?
SCT.
SCT.
Sun Corridor Trail.
Okay.
Yes, and so like I said, it was a brainchild of Maricopa County Parks and Rec department, and now it's blossomed into this. And
spreading like wildfire.
I got people, volunteers, folks all over. Oh, how can I help? How can I help?
Okay.
And I take as much help as I can.
SCT.com?
You know, it's so premature right now. We're having another meeting in August.
Okay.
I'll keep you informed. Once we get a real website going, I'll get that to you.
All right. Supervisor Thurman, thank you so much for coming in today.
You bet.
That is today's Countywide. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.